How to complete the Send 35A appeal form, Request to Appeal. This form is to be completed if you have received a refusal to assess decision from the local authority. This session will help you to understand what you could write in each section and how to complete the form. Please note that not every section may need to be completed, therefore you can just write non-applicable or leave blank. Section 1. Who is the appeal about? Here you need to complete the child or young person's details. Section 2. Reasons for appeal. Question 1, Box 1. You can use this box to describe any needs and difficulties your child has. This can include any diagnosis, referrals to specialists and things that you already believe your child is struggling with. Box 2. You can describe any suspected diagnosis and anything you feel your child may struggle with or have areas of needs that have not been fully identified. Question 2. Here you can describe why you think an education, health, and care plan might be needed to support your child or young person at school or college. If you need more space to write than the box provided, you can use a separate additional sheet and write within this box. See supporting document X. Section 3. Making the appeal. Here you need to fill out the local authority details. The second box is the date of the refusal to assess decision letter that you received from the local authority. Mediation certificate. You should already have obtained your mediation certificate from Global Mediation, but if for any reason you were late or unable to obtain it, you can include the details here. Please note that the tribunal are unlikely to accept any appeal without a valid mediation certificate. You will need to attach the certificate to your tribunal application on submission. Section 4. Deciding your appeal. With this type of appeal, the tribunal usually makes their decision on the papers. This means they will look at paperwork only and it is unlikely to be a physical oral hearing. If you disagree to it being on the papers alone, you can explain why here. It is unlikely that you would require an oral hearing for this type of appeal. You can also describe any other claims or appeals if you have any. If you do not, then you can leave it blank. Section 5. Who is making the appeal? If you are the parent or carer of a child under 16, you can tick the first box. If your child is over 16, you will need to support them to fill out their details in this section. You as the parent can be added as their advocate in another section. If the person is 16 plus but does not have the mental capacity for the appeal, you will need to prove this professionally. You can tick alternative person. Please note, if the person is 16 plus and has mental capacity but is not able to complete the full form themselves, you can fill it out for them on their behalf, if you have gained their permission to do so. Section 6. Who else is involved in the appeal? Here is where you can describe if any organizations share parental responsibility for the child or young person. If this does not apply, you can simply write non-applicable. Your advocate. If the child or young person is under 16, you can fill out your details as their advocate. And if the young person is 16 plus, you can fill out your details as their advocate. If you are being supported by a friend or relative, you can fill out their details, with their permission, as an advocate. Please note, it is usually parents that are advocates for their children, or just leave it blank. Representative. If you have legal representation, you can fill out this section, otherwise you can tick no. You can also specify who you wish to receive the information from the tribunal for your case. Section 7. The hearing, your needs and requirements. You can describe here any needs or requirements that you have as a parent or carer, and if you have any interpreting or language requirements such as sign language or translator. Section 8. Checklist. You can use this list as your checklist to see if you have all supporting documents ready for your appeal. You will need all of these documents unless you are appealing Section I only, in which case you will not need a mediation certificate for that type of appeal. Section 9. Signature. Please ensure you sign and date the appeal form. If the child or young person is 16 plus, it will need to be their signature. Leave the representative's signature blank unless you have legal representation. Section 10. Sending your appeal. Once you have completed the form and you have gathered all of your supporting documents, you are ready to submit your appeal to the tribunal. You can send it by email to this address, or you can post it. Please note that if posting, you will need to send copies, not originals, and send it via recorded delivery so that you can track it. It may also take slightly longer to process if physically posting. Section 11. Evidence to be considered in the appeal. Here is where you can list any documents that you have included as evidence within your appeal. For example, any medical or professional reports that support your appeal. Now you are ready to send your form. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to contact Sendias if you have any further questions. Goodbye.